Imagine waking up one morning and something just feels off. Not a sharp pain, not a huge crisis, just a subtle shift. Maybe a fleeting numbness, a momentary struggle to find a word, or a sense of unsteadiness that passes quickly. What if that tiny, seemingly insignificant shift was your body trying to tell you something absolutely critical? Something about your brain health that could change your life forever. It's a painful reality that far too many seniors, wonderful people just like you, unknowingly dismiss these faint whispers from their bodies. They might think it's just a touch of fatigue, a bit of stress, or simply part of getting older. But this oversight, this critical missed connection, often leads to devastating consequences. Consequences that are often irreversible. The truth is, your body sends out signals, vital messages, long before a full-blown crisis hits. And understanding these early whispers, these crucial cues, isn't just about preventing a stroke. It's about protecting your independence, your memory, your ability to enjoy every precious moment with your loved ones. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 7 often missed early signs of stroke, the ones that are easy to brush off, but absolutely critical to recognize. Knowing these could quite literally save your life, or the life of someone you love. Make sure you watch right to the very end, because I'll share something with you that might just surprise you about how subtle these signs can truly be, and what you can do immediately. Let's begin by shining a light on the first crucial sign, one that often feels vague or temporary, making it incredibly easy to dismiss a sudden weakness or numbness, especially on one side of your face, arm, or leg. Now, we're not necessarily talking about a complete paralysis here. It could be something as subtle as a slight droop in one corner of your mouth when you smile, or a feeling that your arm just doesn't have its usual strength when you reach for something on a shelf. Perhaps you're holding a cup of coffee, and suddenly your grip feels a little off. The cup feels heavier than it should. Or maybe you notice a tingling sensation that isn't going away. Like your leg has fallen asleep but it hasn't. You might attribute it to sleeping funny, or that nagging arthritis acting up, or just having an off day. It's easy to rationalize these moments away, especially if they're fleeting. But if that weakness or numbness comes on suddenly, even if it feels mild or passes quickly, it's a red flag. Imagine you're brushing your teeth and one side of your face feels odd, or you're walking upstairs and one leg feels unusually heavy and uncooperative. That's the kind of sudden change we're talking about. A simple test you can do if you suspect something is off is to raise both your arms straight out in front of you. If one arm drifts downwards, it could be a sign. Or smile widely in the mirror. If one side of your mouth droops, that's another indicator. The key here is the suddenness of the change, not a gradual onset over days or weeks. Moving on from physical changes, another subtle warning often comes in how we communicate. This leads us to our second, often missed sign: sudden difficulty speaking or understanding speech. This isn't just about slurring your words, though that's certainly a classic sign. It can be much more nuanced. Imagine you're trying to tell your grandchild a story, and the words just won't come out right. You know what you want to say, but your tongue feels thick, or the words get jumbled, or you simply can't find the right term, even for common objects. Or perhaps you're listening to the news, and for a moment, the anchor's words just sound like gibberish, even though you know they're speaking English. You might find yourself saying things that don't make sense, or you struggle to understand simple questions. This condition is called aphasia, and it can be incredibly disorienting. It's often brushed off as tiredness, or, "Oh, I just forgot the word," or simply, "I'm getting old and a bit fuzzy." But if this difficulty appears suddenly, it's a serious symptom. Think about trying to answer a simple question, like, "What did you have for breakfast?" and your mind goes blank, or you come up with a completely unrelated answer, or you're talking on the phone, and suddenly you can't process what the person on the other end is saying. even though you hear the sounds. These sudden changes in your ability to articulate thoughts or comprehend language are not just minor memory lapses. If someone you're with starts talking in a confused way, or has trouble following a conversation they would normally understand, ask them to repeat a simple sentence. If they struggle, that's a critical sign. These first two signs often involve a sudden, noticeable change in your body's function or your ability to communicate. But sometimes, the earliest warnings come in a different form. Something you might not immediately link to your brain, like changes in your vision. Beyond what you say or how your body feels, your eyes might give you a clue. Our third sign is sudden vision changes in one or both eyes. This can manifest in several ways: a sudden blurriness, double vision, or even a temporary loss of sight in one eye. Often described as feeling like a curtain is coming down over your vision. You might be reading your favorite book, and suddenly a word or an entire line disappears, or everything looks hazy through just one eye. Then perhaps clears up on its own. Perhaps you try to focus on the TV, and the picture just seems to split into two. Or you see a kind of shimmering light in your peripheral vision that wasn't there before. It's incredibly easy to shrug this off. Many people attribute it to needing new glasses, or think it's just their cataracts acting up, or simply label it as old age vision. After all, our eyesight does change as we get older, right? But the key differentiator here is the suddenness of the change. If your vision suddenly blurs, or you lose part of your sight, even for a few seconds or minutes, it's not just a sign of aging. It could be a vital clue. A simple way to check if you experience something like this is to cover one eye at a time, and then the other. See if there's a difference in clarity or field of vision. If there's a sudden, new, and significant change, especially if it doesn't quickly resolve, that's a signal you cannot ignore. Now, let's talk about something that can be incredibly distressing and often sends people straight to bed. Thinking it's just a bad day. Our fourth sign: a sudden severe headache, often described as a thunderclap headache. This isn't your typical migraine or the dull ache of a tension headache. This is the worst headache of your life. An excruciating pain that comes on absolutely out of nowhere, like someone just hit you over the head with a hammer. It's not a slow buildup. It's an immediate, intense, agonizing pain. While headaches are common, especially as we age, a headache of this severity with no known cause, particularly if it's accompanied by any of the other symptoms we've discussed, is a profound red flag. People might dismiss it as just a really bad migraine, or attribute it to stress, or assume it's normal for them if they're prone to headaches. But if you experience a headache that is exceptionally severe, unlike any you've had before, and it strikes suddenly, it demands immediate medical attention. It's your brain screaming for help. Our fifth crucial sign relates to movement and balance: a sudden loss of balance, dizziness, or coordination. This isn't just feeling a little lightheaded when you stand up too fast, which can be normal. This is an unexpected clumsiness, suddenly tripping over nothing, or a profound feeling of vertigo or spinning that comes on acutely. You might stand up from your chair and suddenly feel like you're on a boat, swaying uncontrollably, or you find yourself stumbling for no reason, perhaps dropping things more often than usual because your hands just don't seem to be cooperating. It's more than just a momentary lightheadedness. This is often blamed on inner ear issues, low blood sugar, or simply not being as steady as you used to be as you age. While those are possibilities, if this lack of balance comes on suddenly and severely, or is accompanied by any of the other symptoms we've talked about, it's a strong indicator that something serious is happening in your brain and it should not be dismissed. Next, we'll dive into a sign that is particularly insidious because it mimics something we all feel sometimes: our sixth sign: sudden, profound fatigue or weakness. This is more than just feeling tired after a long day or needing a nap. This is an overwhelming, acute exhaustion that comes on rapidly, as if all your energy has been sapped in an instant, and it doesn't go away with a brief rest. You were feeling fine a moment ago, and now suddenly you feel like you've run a marathon, completely drained and heavy. This symptom is especially important to recognize because it's often overlooked, particularly in women, who can experience stroke symptoms differently than men. It's so easily dismissed as just a bad day, or stress, or the natural slowing down that comes with age. We all get tired. So how do you tell the difference? The key is the suddenness and severity of the fatigue, especially if it's unexplained and accompanies even subtle versions of the other signs we've discussed. If this fatigue hits you like a wall, suddenly and profoundly, and feels unlike any tiredness you've ever experienced, pay very close attention. Finally, we come to our seventh sign, one that can be deeply upsetting and easily misattributed: sudden confusion or memory problems. This isn't the gradual onset of dementia, or just a typical senior moment where you forget where you put your keys. This is an acute disorientation, a difficulty recognizing familiar places or people, or memory lapses that are profoundly out of character for you. Imagine you're in your own kitchen, a place you know intimately, and suddenly you feel disoriented, unsure where the coffee cups are, or you briefly forget the name of your spouse or child, not just a temporary blank, but a profound, acute, and out-of-character confusion. You might become disoriented in a familiar environment, or struggle to complete simple tasks you do every day. This is often mistaken for general aging, or simply stress, especially because memory issues can be a sensitive topic to discuss. However, any sudden, acute change in your mental status, your ability to think clearly, or your memory that is out of character for you requires immediate medical evaluation. If you, or a loved one, suddenly seem unlike themselves, confused, or struggling with basic recognition or memory, it's an emergency. These 7 signs, though varied, share a common thread: their sudden onset. They're your body's urgent alerts. Now, understanding these alerts is only half the battle. The other half is knowing what to do, and why acting quickly is absolutely paramount. Which brings us to the most critical part of our discussion. We've talked about these crucial 7 early warnings that sudden weakness or numbness on one side of your body, sudden difficulty speaking or understanding speech, unexpected vision changes in one or both eyes, that terrifying thunderclap headache, a sudden loss of balance, profound and unexplained fatigue, and those acute, out-of-character moments of confusion or memory loss. These aren't just minor annoyances or inevitable signs of getting older. They're urgent signals from your brain, whispers that can quickly turn into shouts if ignored. Remember, knowledge is power. Recognizing even one of these signs, in yourself or a loved one, is the first critical step. It's about being an advocate for your own health. And for those you care about, it's about empowering yourself with information, so you don't have to be one of those who miss these vital clues. Don't let fear paralyze you. Let awareness empower you. Every moment counts. When it comes to stroke, doctors and medical professionals have a critical saying: time is brain. This isn't just a catchy phrase. It means that for every single minute that passes without treatment during a stroke, millions of brain cells are lost. This loss can lead to permanent disability, affecting your ability to move, speak, remember, and enjoy life as you know it. The faster medical attention is received, the greater the chance of minimizing damage and achieving a full or much fuller recovery. So, if you or someone you're with experiences even one of these signs, even if it seems to pass quickly, do not hesitate. Do not wait for it to get worse. Do not tell yourself you'll sleep on it and see how you feel in the morning. Immediately call 911 in the United States, or your local emergency number like 999 in the UK, 000 in Australia, or 111 in New Zealand. When you call, Clearly state that you suspect a stroke, even if the symptoms seem to resolve on their own. It could have been a mini stroke, medically known as a transient ischemic attack, or TIA. A TIA is a powerful warning sign that a full-blown stroke is likely to occur in the near future, often within days or weeks. These TIAs need to be evaluated just as seriously as a full stroke because they are your body's urgent notice to take action and prevent something far more severe. While recognizing signs and acting quickly is absolutely vital, let's also touch on what you can do to reduce your risk in the first place. Because this is where the proactive power lies. Many factors contribute to stroke risk, and thankfully, many of them are within our control. Managing your blood pressure through diet and medication if needed. Keeping your cholesterol levels in check. Quitting smoking if you do smoke. Maintaining a healthy weight. Engaging in regular physical activity. And eating a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These are your daily armor against stroke. These habits build resilience in your body and particularly in your cardiovascular system, which is directly linked to your brain health. And here's that little surprise I mentioned earlier. Something incredibly simple yet often overlooked that can contribute to your stroke prevention efforts: staying properly hydrated. Dehydration can actually increase your blood viscosity, making it thicker and potentially increasing your risk of clots, which can lead to stroke. So, a simple, consistent habit of drinking enough water throughout your day can be a tiny but mighty shield in your overall health strategy. It costs nothing. And it's something you can start doing right now. Isn't that amazing? It truly is often overlooked. I truly hope this information empowers you. Have you or someone you know ever experienced one of these subtle signs? What did you do? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your story might just help someone else recognize a critical sign and act quickly. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who need this vital information. And if you want more practical, empowering advice to live your best, healthiest life at any age, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Your health is your greatest treasure, and you are absolutely worth investing in. By being informed, by being proactive, and by listening to your body's wisdom, you can truly live your best life at every age. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.